Yeah, man. Sorry about that, man. I didn't mean to to have to switch cameras. Sorry about that. So I'm sure that your vision is gonna be a little, a little blurry right about now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, man. So the dude was a good fighter, man. He was good. He was a good fighter. But the thing is, though, man. See, I respect the younger brother. I could respect the younger brother a whole lot more than I could, man, Bobby HOE-logon. This is water, by the way. Yeah, man, so, yeah, man, but Bobby HOE-logon, man, I ain't like him, man. And, like I was saying, man, for me, I think that, in my own opinion, I don't know, a lot of people have been, disagreeing about a lot of shit these days, but, my opinion was like, if he did that in Japan, that's all well and good, I suppose. But if he did that in America, America would have considered that to be cooning, man. Alright, something like a damn buffoon. And, most of the time, man, that's the kind of persona he was portraying in and outside of, whatever, the way I saw him. Okay, see, like, a lot of people said Bob Sapp was a coon over here too, but I disagree with that, man, because Bob Sapp, man, he ain't really act like that on other venues. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I mean by that is, like, when he was like, K1 fighting and all that WWF shit he did, that was like, the persona, that they play. It's not different from America, well, Hulk Hogan and all them motherfuckers, and, motherfuckers y'all watch now. You know what I'm saying? Ask Mr. Griffith. You know what I'm saying? He know how he a wrestler. But, you know what I'm saying? But, like, yeah, man. But, that was Sapp was just doing that shit. You know what I mean? When he was fighting and shit. When you saw him on other venues, other commercials, other TV programs, he acted normal. He was like, yeah, hey, this is what it is. This is what's me. He might, go into some comedic, antics, you would consider that something similar to, like, Saturday Night Live skits, you know what I'm saying? He'd probably do some skits like that on TV every once in a while, but most of the time, he presents himself, far as I saw him, to be, respectable, at least, but, like, HOE-logon, man, was doing that, shit, like, since day one, I saw him on TV, and even still now, man, I think, man, he have a beautiful family. I'm gonna give him that, man. I mean, I don't think I ever seen his wife though, but I don't know. It don't matter, man. But like, yeah, he got like 2 or 3 kids. I don't know how many, because I can't stand watching them even for 1 minute. So but I'm gonna give him props on the beautiful family he got, man. They look like beautiful children. You know what I mean? Whatever. Okay, but. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, but I resent him, man, and I'm not going to forgive him, man, for that. And you know what? The thing is, too, man, it was at a time, I suppose, and this was a while back, man, and you got to think, this is like when Bobby HOE-logon was, like, mostly making a splash hit upon Japan, man. That was, like, I guess, again, I could be wrong, but it's like, 2003, 2004, around that time, like, kind of like right around the last, like the last Olympics, not the last Olympics, but the World Cup that was held in Japan, you know what I'm saying, that one, around that time. And then, HOE-logon, man, and the worst part about, like, HOE-logon being on TV, man. I mean, I don't know, man. Those back in the days too, though. So I don't wanna, but like, he was on TV with this white dude, man, like named Sing Camus, whatever, Sang Camus, or something like that. I don't know what the boy's name is. You Japan buffs might know all about that, man. But look, he was with it, and this dude's a white dude too, man. They'll be on TV with this white dude, man. And mind you, I don't really understand 100% anything what they're talking about, but like, I'm reading the expressions on people's faces, and I'm just, kind of taking in the atmosphere of, you know, what it is, because that's what a lot of times you have to do if you don't speak the language 100%, and you know, you have a lot of improvement to, you know, make, and you know, you just trying to, you don't understand everything, you don't understand every conversation. So a lot of times, man, when you're on your own, man, your survival depends on you being able to, you know, read certain situations, right? You know what I'm saying, and understanding, like, you know, what's going on. So like, just, you know, man, not to make too much of this, man, but yeah, man, you know, I'm just reading from these, you know, comedic skits they used to do on TV, man. That shit just look real, trifling, man, out of line shit, man. Motherfuckers in America, if you did that shit, okay, yeah, this is comedy, but damn, you know what I mean, like, that's because us whites and blacks, you know what I'm saying, even mortal enemies as we are, you know what I'm saying, we understand we have a history together, you know what I'm saying, good or bad, it's been together, you know what I'm saying, like motherfuckers sprayed you with hoses and shit, man. It was them doing it to you, man. So you living with them, you living with these motherfuckers lynch you and shit. So, you know, that being said, man, you know, we got a history, but like other motherfuckers don't really have no history like that. You know, like particularly in Asia. Now Asia, you know what I'm saying, you know, there was some of them here and everything, but you know, I'm talking about like, you know, a whole different dynamic, whatever, man, you know what I mean? So, you know, if Japanese people ain't had nothing to do with it, see that shit, they be like, oh, ha, ha, this is some funny shit. This how motherfuckers, white people should be treating black people. So it look like on TV, man, this white boy was smacking Olagon around, not only Olagon, but a couple of other motherfucking coconut motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, them motherfuckers, people like, ooh, all of them was acting like that, man. I don't know how many of them it was. It was like a group of them. You know what I'm saying? It was like a bunch of them cats, man. And they just be on, you know, doing shit like driving buses and shit, and be on the loudspeaker talking about, doing, you know, speaking that, you know, like Japanese, but be like fucked up, right? You know what I mean? People used to eat that shit up here in Japan, man. Japan used to eat that shit up, man. Alright, now, me personally, I ain't watched the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I couldn't stomach it, right? So, you know, I would not watch it, but if you happen to be around some Japanese people that like that shit, right, they'll all of a sudden put that shit on, man. And sometimes, man, I think people was doing that shit to fuck with me, man. Because, like, you know, and I'm not the only black person that been through this, man, but, like, motherfuckers in Japan would be, like, randomly calling every black person Bobby and shit, man. And that shit used to piss me off, man. I almost got arrested, man, for knocking this old man the fuck down, man. Yeah, I bowled his ass over because he called me Bobby and shit, man. And you know, man, because like, not only is it disrespectful to call somebody some name, man, that ain't your name, but you gonna call him somebody that don't look nothing the fuck like you, man. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, I see like, okay, people said to me, okay, yeah, you look like Stevie Wonder. Yeah, alright, you look like Grandmaster Melly Mel. Right, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Or like, you know, they said some shit like that to me, man. You know, oh, I believe that. I believe it. You know what I mean? Okay, I see how you got it. Or Maxie Priest or Bob Marley. You know what I'm saying? Name some names, man. Or whatever, man. You know what I mean? But, yeah. You know, I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. I guess I do look like him. I guess I do look like him and shit. Alright? Yeah, you know what I mean? But, like, they just comparing me to something totally different, man. And it'd be not only me, it'd be like other motherfuckers get that shit too. And then, man, to see how this motherfucker present himself. And then, man, you know, you have people that tell you to do these damn Bobby Olagon impersonations, man. It almost makes you, you know, like, it almost make you want to, you know, choke your friends, man, or people you want to be friends with. I mean, it ruined a lot of relationships, I can tell you that much, man, because, like, you know, I'll be, like, on my way someplace. I remember one time, man, I was down at the loop line, man, over there at Mamiya Station, right? And, man, some motherfucking, whatever, man, little prick with blonde hair and shit, man, you know, like, with a boy uniform on with a couple of bitches, man. So I guess he was showing out for the ladies, right? So then, you know, man, he like yelling, Bobby, Bobby, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, he was like, he jumped out there, man, and this motherfucker jumped out there. See, when people do that in Japan, see, y'all might be like, oh, well, you should just walk out, and you should just move on, and shit. No, it ain't that simple. See, when you do something like that at certain places, you know what I'm saying, like the way he did it, you know what I'm saying, I mean, this motherfucker jumped out, man, like he was, you know, jacking the box, man. And then he's like, are you Bobby? You're Bobby. So, like, when you do shit like that in Japan, people be watching, man. People look all around, they checking you out, man. Maybe I was trying to be having a low profile that day, man, because like I said, I was on my way someplace. You know what I'm saying? It could be like, you know, I'm trying to, you know, whatever, do what I do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I mean? I might not want to be recognized or some shit. And then the motherfucker jump out at me like, yo, you're Bobby? Are you Bobby? You know what I'm saying? You know, good job on the English, you little punk. But then, man, you know what I'm saying? You know I had to jack him up, man. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, so much for my low profile, man. I had to take out my ID. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Look, punk, I was like, you know, Jack Ford on a Hawaii 5-0, man. I was like, yo, man, check out the ID. Read that shit, boy. You know what I'm saying? My name is what, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Ankoku got boss and shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So that was, you know what I'm saying, and you know, and people was telling me, oh man, that's not nice. You shouldn't do that to him. He looks like he's only in high school. I'm like, I don't give a damn, man. You know what I'm saying? You know the little thing I did to him, man, ain't nothing compared to like what happened to him anywhere else if he did that shit. He should be thanking me for that, man. You know what I mean? Because like, you know, somebody might slap you for that. I mean, I thought about it, but you know, then again, you know, it really didn't, you know, it was counterproductive to say the least. Alright, so it didn't happen that way. Alright, and not that I'm the kind of guy that does that shit. I don't go around just slapping people, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know what I mean, like, sometimes, man, this world give you a good reason, man. And that's why I live in America. But, check this out. Yeah, man, I'm just saying, man, you know, like, yeah, HOE-logon represented himself real poorly, man, over here, man, and I can't forgive him over that, you know. But these days, you know, like I said, it don't bother me and shit. I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying, he Nigerian, he ain't from my country, you know what I mean? And if you want to get technical, don't make me get technical, you know what I'm saying? But, alright, he's African, and I'm the Judah. So that means we different, man. Alright, so, you know, yeah, I guess that's just how it is, man. You know what I mean? And, like, you know, he like cooning, that's cool. He's cool with it, that's fine. And that's how I deal with it over here. And, you know, he came out, you know what I'm saying, with a Nigerian flag before he before he fought, over there at, you know, whatever, K1. Alright? So, you know, Nigeria, America, so, you know, it ain't me, you know what I mean? So, you know, you say what you want to say. So, like, now, you know, nowadays, man, people don't call you, Bobby that much no more. But the funny thing was, man, like, after that Bobby shit kind of fizzled down, not out, down, they started, you know, calling motherfuckers Bob Sapp. Then all motherfuckers in Japan became Bob Sapp. Everybody was Bob Sapp. And then after that, you know, regardless of this beautiful hair, man, you know what I'm saying, I'm still Bob Sapp, right? And then, man, it was, after that, it was, you know, Will Smith got like a little 2 minutes, you know what I'm saying, because I got caught, I was at the chicken spot, and then, yeah, man, and the motherfucker at the bar, at the fucking counter, you know what I'm saying, whatever, started calling me Will Smith and shit. I'm like, damn, man, don't you motherfuckers ever quit, alright? But anyway, yeah, man. But yeah, that's my rap, man, on that dude, man. Bobby HOE-logon. His brother, I can respect him, man. His brother came on TV, man. He was acting right, you know what I'm saying. He acted like a normal human being, you know what I'm saying, with dignity and shit, you know what I'm saying. But you know, like motherfuckers knew that, you know, stepping to him, you know what I'm saying, that you wasn't dealing with the same caliber or the same type of persona character, you know what I'm saying, that you dealing with the older brother, man. But yeah, man, that motherfucker, man, he was cooning, and like I said, if it was in America, it would have been considered cooning, I suppose. And then there would be some motherfuckers probably in America that wanted to beat him up, alright? And because he's dark skinned, you know, because he's black people probably would have beat him up, okay? Alright? It's different, you know, if it's white people and shit. You know what I mean? Not to talk bad, but you know, maybe I'm gonna talk about another video, man. California, yeah. But you know, just to close, man. Yeah, thank you for the comment, man. On yeah, K1 ain't really popping too much these days. I don't know why, but you know what? I think it's because these motherfuckers got greedy. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to talk about that on camera, alright? But yeah, Bob Sapp was cool though, man. You know what I mean? When I met him, man, he was mad cool. He was like, you know what I mean? I was in the lobby, walked by, he was like, oh shit, Bob Sapp, what's happening? Hey, what's up, brother? Hey, what's up, brother? You know what I'm saying? He just kept it moving, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, good luck. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's cool, man. He's cool, man. He ain't acting wild. I never met Bobby HOE-logon, though. Alright? People told me he's a really smart person, you know, and he don't, maybe not always act like that. Maybe not. I can't say whatever, 100%. And you might be saying, you know, okay, well, why do you care about, you know, what that dude does as a coon and shit like that? Well, for the examples that I gave, man, you know what I mean, are things that, you know, result in, you know, having troublesome atmosphere within your circle of socialization. Okay? For example, if you might perhaps be at a job with Japanese people and then they all of a sudden talk to you like, hey, Bobby, you look like Bobby and shit, you know what I'm saying? And these are professional people, perhaps, right? And you're doing it in front of a whole bunch of people and stuff like that, you know what I mean? If I let that go, then everybody gonna think that they can do that to me all the time, right? So I just gotta say, yo, look, man, Bobby ain't my name, you know what I'm saying? And like, yo, and another thing is, I don't like it when people call me that. I don't like it when people compare me to them. Alright? And I ain't Japanese, so look, I don't really have to care too much about all of your damn, whatever, man, chain of command kind of, you know, society that you try to, you know, indoctrinate everybody to, man, you know what I mean? I guess that makes me difficult, but, you know, see, that's my point. You know what I'm saying? How does that affect me? It affects me that way because, you know what I mean? I mean, of course it could be anybody, but you would like every once in a while, man, for people that's representing you no matter what, right? To, like, you know, kind of have some type of dignified role in society, alright? And now I know that he was said to have been an intelligent person, or is to be an intelligent person. However, man, you know what I'm saying, the people don't see his intelligence through the way he acts on TV. Alright? So yeah, man, so yeah, rather to go into all that, but yeah, and always, man, you know, like I was saying before about white people and black people, good or bad, we have a history together, right? So you know, Asian people outside of America, Asian people really had, I think, little exposure to black people anyway. So almost any time they come into contact with us, it's a, like, you know, it's almost like a learning experience, pretty much. Okay, pretty much. It's like, you know, secrets revealed. But, you know, thanks to media, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times people just get all their information from other sources anyway, right? And only people making the sources are like people in the white media, and in the past it was been, you know, information prior to that, you know, like encyclopedias and all that shit, alright? And you know, all the time you say people, you know, oh, my bad image of black people come from TV. Okay, TV, fine. I mean, that's like everywhere. I think it's the same in Korea too. But the point is, man, you know what I'm saying, is TV. Motherfuckers is watching TV. And then when they watch TV, they see all these damn characters, man. And now they got internet and the fucking music. really ain't worth shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, you know, like, image sometimes does mean everything, but like nowadays, you know, because of YouTube and all that shit, and you know, mass media, you know what I mean, a lot of people are able to represent themselves a whole, you know, however they feel, man. Alright, and then I guess if YouTube was more prevalent at that particular time, alright, I think more people would have, you know, came out blasting, you know what I'm saying, about HOE-logon, man. You know what I'm saying? They were like, ugh, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers, you know, but I guess to a certain extent he knew that he was, you know, kind of despised somewhat. But yeah, so, you know, again, but at the particular time when he was at his prominence, you know what I'm saying, this cat, man, was like all over, you know what I mean, all over the TVs and shit like that, and like, you know, I guess Japanese people, you know, they took that shit in, man, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, I suppose there's some distinctions that they make between, you know, people who are so-called Africans and the so-called African Americans. That's possibly true too. Alright, brothers fell off big time. You know, what can be said? You know, what can I say? They were the cause of it, somewhat. Being careless, but that's a different topic, man. Alright, but yeah, man, so anyway, thanks for the question, everybody. So, you know, just making a quick video about that. I'm not gonna make too many more videos like this, man, because you know what I'm saying, it's like about sports or sports and entertainment. So like a lot of people ain't really hip to like what was, you know, going on back in the days. And I'm not even gonna pretend like I'm gonna be like some kind of sports channel, man, talking about, you know, all the sports and shit on this channel, man, because, you know, it ain't really, that ain't really how I do. I mean, unless it's like a real big event, and there really haven't been that big of events around these days. So anyway, man, yeah, Uncle Cook got boss, man. I'm out, man. Peace.